Hello, bro. Thank you for your check-in and thank you for the overview. What I've done is taken that text from the check-in sheet and placed it onto here. We're going to really address this now in this feedback video. So I've been in a vicious cycle for many years, been with plenty of PTs, and I just lose motivation because I can't stick to the diet or training all the time and I don't see results that should motivate me to keep going. Literally feels like I'm losing the reg mentality and I haven't done cardio in easily over a year. Super unfit, which is fucking hattish, and this puts me in these bad mental states. I can never get into a routine because of work and family commitments, and if I do get into a routine, it gets fucked up pretty quick. So what I've done is I deconstructed this piece of text and put it into a format and explained why things are the way this outcome. So number one is I've been in a vicious cycle for years and lost the reg mentality. Now, that is a mindset you've now adopted and told yourself because of actions that have taken in place. So you now see your self-image as someone that is just in this vicious cycle. You can't get out of it because of this. And if you do try to, it gets messed up quickly because of this. So you've told yourself straight away, I can't get out of the cycle because of work and family. I've lost the reg mentality because of the work in the reg. And now I have this mindset. And ultimately it's because of this cause. Now, because you're in this mindset, how you see that self-image, obviously motivation is going to be very, very low because right now you're swimming upstream against your own brain, which is telling you, no, you're in this cycle, you can't get out of it, and you haven't got that reg zest about you. So you've no motivation to stick to the diet. If you can't stick to the diet, you can bet your bottom dollar you're not going to get motivation. Of course you're not. If you can't stick to something, you're not going to be motivated at all. If you can stick to something, that's how you stack motivation on top of it. And you've obviously tried to do something about it, but ultimately the PTs have not been able to get through to you in a way that's resonated that you could then start to take action. And now as a result of all that, you're super unfit, which then just affirms back to you why your self-image is here at this point. So now what we need to do is deconstruct this in a way that can actually fix the issues. So now, normally I would go about this in a way to develop your self-image, to see yourself as an athlete, because how you see yourself is then how your actions will, you'll put those actions out into the world. But in this instant, I don't think this will help. I think the fact that this is your mentality currently, me just telling you to think you're like an athlete and think like you're a reg bloke, it won't actually serve you because you've got so much baggage mentally weighing you down to get to that point. So what we need to do is actually stack some wins in the way that you can affirm your new self-image. So what we're lacking at the minute is clarity. Right now, your brain is so fried because you've got trying to make progress in the goal. So it's trying to make progress, but then work sends you away on this here, so that flatlines it here. Family needs you to do this, and that sends you back here. But then you actually realize, oh shit, I need to get fit again. So you start, and then something happens up here. But then your mentality decides you aren't worthy of this, so you go back here. And then you're like, no, enough is enough. I'm going to get someone to help me. He helps you take all the way to here, and then something happens, and bang. And before you know it, your brain ends up looking like this foggy thing of emotional baggage and a lack of clarity. What we want is a clear, concise set of instructions. We know from being in the military, if someone gives us a specific set of orders, there's a very, very good chance that we will execute what they needed to, because we were at A, they told us to do the thing that is at B, they gave us the instructions and the orders to do so we just blindly followed it and we got to the end outcome. That's what we need to replicate for you in this situation. So I wouldn't say to you now, try and stick to this diet, try and do the training, try and get the mindset right. What I would be saying to you is I'd be trying to fix three things. The first one would be number of sessions achieved, because if the diet is not perfect, but you are training, that you will still build strength and feel good from training. Whereas if I just told you to fix the diet, you won't feel better about yourself because you haven't had the training as such. So the first thing I want you to focus on is training. So this is number of sessions per week that you can commit to. If it's 3, it's 3. If it's 5, it's 5. Whatever you can commit to, we will piece together a program for that. And the goal will just be to hit the sessions. Now, we do that for a week, we build confidence in ourselves. The second thing I want you to focus on when it comes to food is just hit your protein target. That's the only thing I want you to do, because you're going to train hard, you want to repair the muscle with good protein, just hit your protein target. If you miss on carbs, if you're over on food, if you ate something that was a little bit processed that wasn't on plan, fine. It's not the end of the world as long as you hit that protein target. And then the third thing I would tell you to hit is your step target, because it's fairly low impact, fairly low resistance to do. You're going to do a certain amount of steps naturally just from work anyway. So I'd ask you just to hit those 3 things. And what I would be looking to do is, after you've affirmed to yourself of maybe even just a month of ticking off training, of 3 weeks of hitting protein, of 2 weeks of hitting the diet, you're going to be in a much clearer space. And you've only got 3 things to worry about, so it's simple and clear to do. You're going to have challenges from the outside, but as long as you can still hit these sessions, you're going to change how you view yourself, that you're not in a vicious cycle and you're losing the reg mentality, because a reg bloke would train. A reg bloke would follow the just simple steps and get to the point. There's no reason you can't do that. There's no reason why you couldn't get 1 to 2 sessions in per week, even if you were really busy with work, even if you had family stuff. You could still get that training in. You're going to have to eat anyway, so just making sure you eat some meat, like enough to hit the protein target within a day, is not that hard to do. It's not like we're trying to prep like loads of different meals. We're just making sure we eat a certain amount of a certain food within a given day. And the last one with the steps, you're going to do this anyway. So I believe we can stack these 3 wins together, and we can then take your self-image from where it is here up to this point here. Now, this won't be a drastic change to begin with, but what it will do is it will affirm to you that you're not in a vicious cycle, that you can do something about that it's not the routine of the family and the work that is stopping you from getting to that point, because you realise now that at the minute, this is the issue to why you can't do any of the things. But if you can chip it away at a few of the tasks and quite long levers of the task, you'll realise that family and work don't get in the way, because 100% is the people that you work with that, well, they work with you. Do they still train? Probably. Is the people that you work with that also have a family? Probably. And if they're still doing it, they're no better than you. If you're all reg blokes at the end of the day, you've all been through the same arduous course and test. They're no better than you. They just have a different head on their shoulders. But their head is affirmed on their shoulders for the actions that they took to get there. So is yours. And that's why yours is where it is now. Theirs is where theirs is now. So you lose motivation because you can't stick to the diet, but you will gain motivation by every time you complete a session and every time you complete a day of eating the right amount of protein, because you'll know, actually, I can stick to these points, I can hit off these non-negotiables, and you will tip the balance of motivation. When motivation is starting to build, then we can look to add in more things to skyrocket that motivation by hitting off more of the non-negotiables. And over time, you will get fitter because of these variables, and because you get fitter, it goes the other way. Now the cycle is feeding into why you have the reg mentality, and why you're not in a vicious cycle. You're actually in a vicious cycle of progress, making gains and hitting goals. So that is my action step that I would give to you to fix the issue that we're in. Don't worry about anything else to do with the plan, just those 3 points. And let's check back in a week and see how progress gone.